£116 million. One of the biggest midfield transfers in football history. From dominating Germany with Bayer Leverkusen to struggling at Anfield under the weight of expectations. Florian Wirtz was supposed to be Liverpool's future. A generational talent, a player built to control games, not chase them. But football doesn't care about price tags, and the Premier League doesn't wait. This is how one of Europe's brightest talents rose at Bayer Leverkusen, fell under pressure at Liverpool, and is now fighting his way back to the top.
Hello everyone, I am Bakhtar Alam and you're watching Pure Kick Play. Before we begin, I'd want you to like the video and subscribe to the channel. And now that you've done these things, well, let's begin.
Florian Wirtz didn't arrive with hype. He created it. At just 17 years old, he broke into Bayer Leverkusen's first team, becoming one of the youngest goal scorers in Bundesliga history. But this wasn't just about age, it was about impact. Wirtz played like someone years ahead of his time. He saw passes before they opened. He controlled tempo instead of reacting to it. As a number 10, drifting between the lines, Wirtz became the brain of Leverkusen's attack, linking midfield to forward play with intelligence, vision and calmness under pressure. Season after season, he grew. Goals from midfield, assists in big moments, and performances that decided matches. By the time Leverkusen reached their historic unbeaten season, Wirtz wasn't just a talent anymore, he was their difference maker, the player everything revolved around. Germany didn't just find another midfielder, they found a conductor. And Europe was watching. This was the moment Florian Wirtz stopped being a prospect and became a superstar. Under Xabi Alonso, Bayer Leverkusen transformed into one of Europe's most intelligent and aggressive teams. And at the heart of it all was Wirtz. He wasn't just creating chances, he was running games. Operating between the lines, Wirtz dictated tempo, broke defensive blocks and delivered in big moments. Goals, assists, match-winning performances, all while making football look effortless. Leverkusen went unbeaten, domestic dominance, historic football. And Wirtz, he was the face of it. That's when Liverpool stepped in. They weren't just buying numbers, they were buying creativity in tight spaces, a long-term midfield controller, a player built for the next era of Liverpool football. The fee was massive, £116 million, a statement signing. Liverpool believed Wirtz would walk into the Premier League and elevate them instantly. The Bundesliga had been conquered, the next challenge was England. But what looked perfect on paper was about to be tested by reality. The Premier League didn't welcome Florian Wirtz. It tested him. From the very first games, the difference was clear. Less time on the ball, more physical duels, relentless pressing. At Leverkusen, Wirtz controlled space. At Liverpool, space didn't exist. He was asked to adapt instantly. New teammates, new tempo, new responsibilities. All while carrying a £116 million price tag on his back. Every misplaced pass was analysed, every quiet game became a headline. And the numbers didn't help. No early goals, no immediate assists. Confidence started to dip. Critics were quick, overpriced, not built for England, Bundesliga illusion. But the biggest problem wasn't talent, it was fit and timing. Wirtz is a rhythm player, a controller, someone who needs touches, patterns, understanding. At Liverpool, he was chasing games instead of shaping them. And for the first time in his career, Florian Wirtz looked human. The Premier League is different. In Germany, the game is structured. Build-up is patient, space appears if you move intelligently. In England, there is no pause button. Every touch is pressed, every mistake is punished, midfielders don't get time, they earn it. Florian Wirtz wasn't just adapting to a new club, he was adapting to a new football culture. But adaptation needs patience. and patience disappears when the price tag reads £116 million. At Liverpool, Wirtz wasn't allowed a learning curve. Every performance was judged instantly. Every quiet game felt like a failure. Yet slowly, almost quietly, things began to change. His positioning improved. His decision-making became quicker. He stopped chasing the game and started reading it again. Then came the moment. A goal to break the mental barrier. Assist that showed his vision was still there, confidence returning with every touch. This wasn't a new Florian Wirtz. This was the old one adapting. And once the Premier League stopped feeling rushed, Wirtz started to feel like himself again. And this is where the narrative changed. Because lately, Florian Wirtz has been playing like himself again. The sharpness is back, the confidence is back, and most importantly, the connections are back. His partnership with Ekitike has been a turning point. Quick 1-2s, intelligent movement, passing patterns that finally look natural. Wirtz isn't forcing the game anymore, he's flowing with it. Goals are coming, assists are following, and his influence between the lines is growing match by match. You can see it in his body language. He wants the ball again. He demands it. This isn't a player trying to survive the Premier League. This is a player starting to control it. And that brings us to the big question. So now we ask the question everyone has been waiting for. Is Florian Wirtz really worth £116 million? If you expected instant dominance, instant numbers, instant highlights, then the answer might feel like no. But Liverpool didn't buy a finished product. They bought potential with proof. Wirtz is a player who improves teams quietly. He connects phases of play, he unlocks spaces others don't see. And now that he's found his rhythm, the goals are arriving, the assists are coming, and the Liverpool's attack looks sharper when he's involved. At just 21 years old, this is still the early chapter of his career. The Premier League tested him, the price tag pressured him, but he didn't break. He adapted. So is he worth the money? Not because of what he's already done, but because of what he's becoming. And if this is Florian Wirtz after his hardest phase, then Liverpool's gamble may not just be justified. It may turn out to be a bargain. Well, if you enjoyed this breakdown, hit subscribe to Pure Kickplay. I promise it costs less than £116 million. Until next time, adios. I'll see you in the next one.